الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. By the grace of Allah, it pleases me once again to present to you, dear listener, the Fortress of Tawheed, a program that shows you the way to a better understanding of the oneness of Allah, God the Almighty, and how to safeguard the belief in Allah, the one and only true God, worth of worship. In today's edition of the Fortress of Tawheed, we'll have a look at the significance of Tawheed. Perhaps I should confess that I was a bit hesitant in preparation of these topics, whether to start with the significance of Tawheed and outline the categories of Tawheed in the subsequent program or vice versa. It was out of my own conviction that I felt that a reasonable extent of knowledge towards the understanding of the meaning of Tawheed and its categories were of great importance to give an insight of the significance of Tawheed. As alluded to in earlier editions of this program, the messengers of Allah, may peace be upon them all, were entrusted with the responsibility of affirming to their people the lordship of Allah as creator, absolute owner of the universe and controller of all affairs. Yet we find out that the very messengers did not only affirm the oneness of Allah, the one and only true God worth of worship, but they continuously invited their people to believe in this category of Tawheed, that there is none worth of worship except Allah, God the Almighty. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ أَلِيمٍ. And indeed we sent Noah to his people, and he said, I have come to you as a plain warner, that you worship none but Allah. Surely I fear for you the torment of a painful day. Quran 11 verse 25 to 26. وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُ بِهِ شَيْئًا. And worship Allah and join none with him in worship. Quran 4 verse 36. As such, one would be in a better position to appreciate the significance of Tawheed if he or she has ample knowledge about the meaning of Tawheed and is able to analyze the categories of Tawheed. Hence my attempt to achieve this, as you might have learned in the previous editions. We gave you, the listener, a detailed account of the meaning of Tawheed and an analytical view on the three categories of Tawheed, namely Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, and Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat. I strongly feel that having had a glimpse of this knowledge would suffice to now allow us to appreciate the significance of Tawheed. Tawheed provides the means for the relief of people's griefs in this world and in the hereafter, and repels the reprisals that may arise thereof. Man is in extreme need of realizing a permanent bond with his Lord. Once he realizes, he will save himself from all anxieties and will live in the shade of his Lord's protection, confident, at ease and happy, as is seen in the lives of the true believers and has been learnt in the history of Muslims who strongly upheld their belief in Tawheed. As such, whoever wishes happiness for himself in this world and salvation in the hereafter must fully embrace the concept of Tawheed and have unshakable belief in it. Tawheed is thus of enormous benefits in cognizance of its significance in Islam. And among its enormous benefits is prevention against torment in the hellfire eternally. Even a lightest weight like a mustard seed of Tawheed is in the heart. And if Tawheed is completely fulfilled in the heart, it surely guarantees prosperity and safeguards the believer from tasting the torment of the hellfire. This is because the moment Tawheed is absolute in the heart of the believer, Allah will grant him love of faith and beautify it in his heart, and in addition, Allah makes disbelief, wickedness and disobedience hateful to him, and Allah will include him amongst those whom he has guided. Tawheed equips man with courage to face harms and hardships with open-hearted and calm soul, and with complete surrender and acceptance to the dreadful will of Allah. The believers who are the bearers of Tawheed enjoy the protection of Allah from the evils of the world and the pains of the hereafter, and Allah will grant them a better life and humility. The more Tawheed and sincerity to Allah, the more one enjoys the hope and satisfaction that his righteous deeds are absolute and complete in reward. As alluded to earlier in this edition of the Fortress of Tawheed, the perfection of Tawheed in one's heart prevents the entire torment in the hellfire, and this is because Tawheed procures absolute guidance for its bearer and brings forth perfect peace in the world and in the hereafter. The Holy Quran states, الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون. It is those who believe and confuse not their belief with dhulm, worshipping others besides Allah. For them there is security and they are the guided. Quran 6 verse 82. Indeed, Tawheed is the major cause for a believer to attain the happiness of Allah and His reward. Surely the happiest man in the intercession of the noble Prophet Muhammad ﷺ on the day of judgment shall be the bearer of the testimony which declares that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah, with sincerity from his heart. Amongst its significance, Tawheed helps the believer in Allah to do righteous deeds with good intention, solely seeking the pleasure of Allah. And it also helps the believer to shun evil deeds. This means obedience is easier for someone who has sincere faith and Tawheed to Allah because he is hoping for reward and merriment of his Lord. With the same spirit, the bearer of Tawheed finds it not a difficult task to refrain from falling into temptation and desist from committing evil deeds, though they may look humanly desirable because he has fear of the anger of Allah and His punishment. Once Tawheed is fully established in the heart, Allah will endeavor love or faith for the bearer of Tawheed and make his success and victory complete and guaranteed. The reward of one's insignificant and small righteous deeds is multiplied to an imaginable quantity and size. Also, among the significance of Tawheed is that Allah guarantees victory, liberation, and redemption to the bearers of Tawheed in this world and the hereafter. With Tawheed, the bearers of Tawheed will be protected from the calamities of the world and the hereafter, and Allah will grant them better life and tranquility. This is because Tawheed is like a tree that grows in the heart of a believer. Its branch develops and it grows continually. Its beauty develops in every moment it is watered with obedience that drives him closer to Allah. Thus the believer's love and affection for the one and true God increases, as well as his fear and hope and his trust in Him. That much being the significance and importance of Tawheed, it would be prudent to carefully consider how one should behave himself to remain a strong believer in Tawheed so as to remain the beneficiary of the significance of Tawheed. This mainly requires activities or simply contemplation in one's heart, which would result in making Tawheed develop and stand firm in all the dealings a believer is engaged in. The following activities and attributes can to a large extent be of much help to lift up one's level of Tawheed. 1. Obedience to the teachings of Islam as outlined in the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet ﷺ, with the hope that one will definitely be rewarded by Allah, God the Almighty. This should go hand in hand with the spirit of refraining from indulging oneself in evil deeds for fear of the punishment of Allah. 2. Your level of Tawheed gets lifted up to a higher degree when you deeply contemplate on the creation of the heavens and the earth, and indeed the entire universe, which includes the sun, the moon, and the stars. This enables the bearer of Tawheed to enrich his knowledge on the meaning of the names and attributes of Allah. And where one feels short of understanding, he or she would earnestly seek more beneficial knowledge and practice it with the view of reaching the right and correct destination. 3. Reading and reciting of the Quran with contemplation and understanding of its meanings and its command keeps the bearer of Tawheed safe from allurements of the devil and is never distracted from the belief that Allah is the one and only true God. As such, it is recommended for every Muslim to learn how to read the Quran and get hold of its translation in any language so as to understand its meaning and abide by its command. For those who are well conversant with the recitation of the Quran should make it a habitual practice to read the book on daily basis and, if possible, make a complete reading of the Quran at least once a month. You could also get yourself closer to Allah and be alone with Him when He descends to the last heaven nearest to the earth every night at the last third of the night by reciting the Quran at this moment and closing the recitation with a prayer seeking Allah's forgiveness and guidance.
Allahu Akbar.
4. Whilst one accustoms himself to doing righteous deeds and remembrance of Allah, cautiousness of who to associate with amongst friends is of paramount importance. Protect yourself from falling into the trap of Satan by ensuring that you are always associating yourself with people of obedience, piety, and sincerity, and as well as admirers of Allah whose sitting with them would make you spiritually benefit from their sayings and characters. Make all the effort to avoid engaging in business that may lead to the deviation of the heart from Allah. Make it a rule that you ignore excessive talks such as jokes and baseless stories. Instead, play a leading role to encourage others to strive in doing righteous deeds with love and passion for Allah, the one and only true God. In so doing, establish in oneself peace of heart from grudges among believers. Feelings of envy, greediness, pride, arrogance, and self-satisfaction should no longer be accommodated in one's heart on the expense of another Muslim brother or sister. 5. As a believer in the truth, one is liable to face challenges and trials, some of which could bring shockwaves to one's faith. All you need to do to overcome this is humbly accept the decree of Allah. Be thankful for the blessings that come on your way from Allah and exercise firmness on trials that come against your way. Repent to Allah without delay when you realize that you have committed sin, and most importantly, do not lose sight to follow the way of the Messenger of Allah ﷺ in all huge and light deeds. In summary, these are just a few activities a bearer of Tawheed can strive to do and the attributes one would strongly desire to have so as to lift his or her level of Tawheed. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate the significance of Tawheed. The belief in Tawheed is the foundation upon which the religion of Islam has been built, so focusing on Tawheed means to focus on the very core itself. For if we were to reflect over the Quran, we would find that it expounds on issues of Tawheed respectively, so much so that there does not exist a single chapter in the Quran that does not mention or allude to Tawheed. If you were to have a look at the chapters of the Quran revealed in Mecca, you would find that most of them focus entirely on Tawheed. That is because the noble Prophet Muhammad ﷺ stayed in Mecca for 13 years, calling to Tawheed and warning against polytheism, shirk. The vast majority of the religious obligations like almsgiving, fasting, pilgrimage, the affairs of the lawful and the prohibited, business transactions, etc., were not revealed until after the migration to Medina. Of course, the legislation of prayer, as-salah, is an exception to this as it was made an obligation while the Prophet ﷺ was still in Mecca on the night of Al-Mi'raj. However, that was a short time before the migration. So the majority of the chapters revealed before the Prophet ﷺ embarked on a migration from Mecca to Medina were focused entirely on Tawheed, thus showing how truly significant the subject is. Furthermore, the religious obligations were not revealed until Tawheed was presented and established within the souls of the people, and the proper belief and faith had taken root. For verily, actions cannot be correct except with Tawheed, nor can they have other than Tawheed as their foundation. The Quran clearly states that all the messengers of Allah began their missions by inviting people to Tawheed before anything else. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنْ أَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. And we sent a messenger to every nation, proclaiming, worship Allah and shun false deities. Quran 16, verse 36. The Quran also states, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونِ. And we never sent any messenger before you, except that we revealed to him that there is no deity worthy of worship except me, so worship me. Quran 21, verse 25. Thus, it has been a tradition that all the messengers of Allah, may peace be upon them all, emphasize the fact that there is no other object one can resort to and offer prayers in worship and adoration. Their call was loud and clear, as they used to say, O my people, worship Allah as you have no other deity worthy of worship. Dear respected listener, I hope this has given you some insights of how significant Tawheed is and the place it occupies in the mind of a Muslim. O Allah, grant us happy life under Tawheed and grant us martyrdom on death. May peace and blessings be upon the Messenger ﷺ, his family and all his companions. Till we meet again, this is Mustahab Ayami.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله